Itt vagyunk a CES-en Las Vegasban a BlackBerry egyik vezetőjével, Marty Bearddel, akivel az európai helyzetről és készülékekről fogok beszélgetni. Hi Marty, it's nice to have you here.
Hi, thank you. Good to be here.
My first question is about Europe. It used to be your second main market after North America, but it looks like that now it's not anymore. The Arabic countries and Asia is more a focus area. Will Europe, or especially Eastern Europe, come back to your site again?
Yeah, I think, so remember, BlackBerry, we have our devices business and we have our software, our enterprise software business. And both of those are very much global businesses for us. Europe, I think if I added all of Europe together, it would still be in that kind of second tier, that second place. Very, very important market for us. Will continue to be a very important market for us, both on the device side and on the software side. We have we've been, since John Chen came in as CEO just over a year ago, we've been really strengthening the management bench, the strength of the bench. That includes Europe. And so I think we're going to be very focused on continuing to revitalize BlackBerry in the region.
Here in CES, we had the possibility to see some QNX solutions. And how can you make synergy between, a Maserati concept car, a BlackBerry Passport, and let's say CES 12?
Yeah, I think one of the things that people may not really understand or recognize about BlackBerry is the breadth of our technology strength. I mean, truly from obviously devices, but all the back-end software, the security software, the mobile management software, to actually our messaging capability through BBM and so forth. And not only that, but just this incredible technology and IP platform that we have. So we've been able to bring that together in our announcement today around our Internet of Things platform, which obviously applies to more than just cars. But if you want to just talk about cars, BlackBerry, we're already in more than 50 million cars are using BlackBerry technology. And we see that expanding not only within automobile, but within healthcare. That was another announcement that we had today. Financial services, really regulated industries is where we have a lot of strength. So we see this as becoming a next wave, really, of technology, and we'll be a major player in that.
Okay. I have a few questions about devices. First of all, the Classic, which is kind of a back to the roots device, as I see it. Do you think that one device only can be a big game changer for BlackBerry?
I think we're very targeted in each one of the devices that we bring out. We don't think about each one as being so-called a game changer. We think about it as being a device that is solving the needs of a very specific market segment. So Passport, which had come out some months ago, much bigger screen, very focused on visual interaction, like healthcare applications, etc. And somebody that wants to be very, very productive, but also have a chance to see much larger images. So that was that. Now the Classic, I think you're right. It's somewhat of a traditional feel and form. I mean, it's a great device, and I love it. I use it, heavily. You can be very, very productive on it. So I think it meets a lot of the classic BlackBerry needs. But we think the keyboard market is actually bigger than just BlackBerry, right? Bigger than traditional BlackBerry users. There's a lot of folks that are interested in the accuracy and the productivity of a keyboard like this. So it meets that need, and it's a slightly lower priced from the Passport, so it's a more broad, something that's more broadly applicable to the market, which is why AT&T, announced today that they'll put it in all their retail channels. And then we had the Z3, which was an all-touch device, again lower priced than the Classic, and so again a kind of a broader device, maybe in emerging markets it would make more sense, etc. So my point is each one of these devices are very targeted on a segment that we want to go after. We don't come at it as each one's going to be so-called game changing. It's more how are we meeting the needs of the market segments that we're trying to feed.
Okay, we just saw a demonstration about the Android Wear platform that now it supports the BBM on Android, but it looks like your operation system doesn't support much wearables right now. As far as I know, Pebble is the only smartwatch which can run on BB10, and that's not an official support, but it runs anyway. You have any plans to try to implement Google Play services or do something about the lack of support for wearables?
I think, what we're showing is a very early view in how our platform, in this case our BBM platform, will support wearables. Obviously, wearables are just a very rapidly growing segment. We're going to play in that segment from a platform perspective, from a messaging perspective, et cetera. So you're right. This was an early view into that, but I think you heard from John and the team that it's a segment that we're focused on, and we wanted to show that it's more than just talk. We actually have some technology available now, and you'll see more of that coming out as we go forward.
Okay, nice to hear it. I've been using the Passport for a month now, and it's really interesting. I've changed it from Z10 and Z30, and the square screen is something I like and something I don't like, because I can't see really much advantage of square screen. I mean, it's nice that it's big, but what do you think? I mean, for the keyboard devices you are doing square screens. Why are you not trying to do?
Well, I think so. In the case of Passport, there's very strong affinity within a large group that love it, right? And it could be bankers that need to see, a lot of graphical information. It could be doctors that need to see it. But there's, so it seems to be a device that people either just really migrate towards, or they would look at it and say that's too big, or maybe it's too different, or what have you. The feedback of customers that have used it, love it. Love it. In fact, it's one of the highest rated devices that we've ever had in the history of the company, just in terms of quality and the people, the way that they feel about it. I think on the Classic, again, it's that form factor is the best form factor for the Classic, but this is geared towards a much broader, a much broader use case. So I think we'll see a much broader adoption of that device.
Okay, we've heard some voices, I don't agree with them, but some voices online are saying that BlackBerry, the brand name itself, had some serious injuries in the last years, and BlackBerry is going to need a very special marketing tools to, heal the wounds. Do you agree with these voices? And if you are, then what will be the marketing's next step?
I don't spend too much time. We have a plan that we're executing on. The most important thing we can do for the BlackBerry brand is perform well as a company, right? So meet our financial commitments, meet the commitments to our investors, and when you do that, then questions about our viability those are starting to just go away. Okay. I think we've started to perform really well. That's the starting point for anything regarding any company's brand. And I think in the case of BlackBerry, given what are some of the struggles that they'd had in the past, this is really the number one. Okay, the brand recognition is strong, right? It does carry some of those challenges, but on the other hand, people know BlackBerry, so there's a lot for us to work with there, and we're just going to focus on executing on our plan.
Okay, and my last question is about the distribution channels, because in Europe, in Hungary, a few years ago, operators were the primary market for BlackBerry devices. As I see in the States, it's different than in Europe, but for Eastern Europe, it looks like that those are not that strong channels anymore. Is it right? And what's going to be your next, main channel?
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do to reestablish our channels, but also broaden them. And it's a big focus for the management team. So you're right that certain regions where we had maybe more carrier strength in the past, we need to reestablish some of those. We have to be very targeted. We're also expanding our channels. So for example, online has become a much bigger focus. We've done extremely well. Passport did very, very well online through our own online site, our own e-commerce site, as well as through other partners like Amazon. So we are also broadening the global reach of our e-commerce sites. That's a big focus for this year, and you'll see us continue to expand that.
And on the 10.3, you have Amazon App Store, and it's going to fix the whole of the app gate or something like that. But what does the developers who were told that you should develop native BlackBerry 10 applications? So what do they think about this change?
I mean, I think, so at the highest level, I think there's native application development, but there's also HTML5, there's web development. I think, we're starting to see in emerging markets that almost web development's becoming even more popular than native. So I think you have both these playing out, and then you have hybrid mobile applications between both, native and HTML5. So our view, we're not really taking sides there so much. We're just providing different avenues for developers to leverage the BlackBerry ecosystem. It could be through the Amazon App Store, it could be through the BlackBerry world, it could be through web applications that work incredibly well on BlackBerry, like Uber is a good example. So we're sort of leveraging all three of those.
Okay, thanks for your time. Thanks for the interview.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you.